else. No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else. No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else. bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else. No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else. No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online. And we're here not for Friday Night 9 Ball. I've did a few tweaks to Expert Broadcaster. I've got a shortcut key for my mic mute now, so I don't need to switch the mic. And I've also got my little VP4, what do you call it? My little VP4 intro screen. Welcome, everybody. We're here for another match, the one lost side in the Slim's asking in the chat if I'm doing any streaming. Well, if he was getting notifications, which you only do by clicking the bell on YouTube or on Twitch, I think you'll get notifications. He would know to come in anyway. He'll probably be here in a minute. Good evening to Cobra. Good evening to anybody else I've missed. Yeah, as I say, I've got a shortcut key for my mute on the mic. I'm just about to use it now, so you won't hear anything, or at least you shouldn't hear any click. And I've now unmuted the mic, so I take it that worked okay. We have a result to cover. I dropped in last night on the match between MC Clarkey and Mr. Fox, and from what I saw early on, MC Clarkey, Matt was playing pretty solid, stroking the cue well. He had a lead early on, not a big lead, but looking at the score, he managed to stretch away and he beat Mr. Fox by 150 points to Nelson, 1-1-1. And he's now through to play Sergeresh in the next round. The match that we're focusing on tonight is LS3 and Bedhead, and that will start in about 3 minutes' time. And the winner of that is going to play Moz. And the next match, let me just double check the one lost sides. Are not one at. Well, that was yesterday, I think, wasn't it? Right. The only other one I think is remaining is the big one on Sunday night, which is the race to 200 on the winner's side, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Albinario from Sweden against Tommy from Germany. So that's the ones to go there. We go back to the event, quick look at the stats, and quick look at the long runs. We can see that Mr. Fox is still in the lead. Of course, now he can't make any additions to that. Hairpig still in second, and Stubbs in third, and Bedhead is in fourth. So he's got an opportunity tonight to increase his high run. Albinario and Tommy are both close on his tail, and the two of them have a chance tomorrow. So not tomorrow, Sunday. So that is about it, as far as I can remember what I wanted to say. Yeah, Friday Night 9-ball was strange because the sign-ups, there was 4 spots left, and then suddenly there's 5, so people are withdrawn from the tournament. Don't know why, but Slim signed up for it, so we'll have a quick look and see how many that is now. Well, according to that, there's 1 open seat. Quick refresh, just to double check, and it's now full, so that's good. That's about pretty much a full house for about the last 3 weeks, I think. And I think the usual suspects are in. Larry's there. Spectre Dawn's there. Sylvia is in tonight. Mr. Fox is there. John Boo's there. Bankster's there again. Simax is there. Stefan, Travelling TT, and there's a name I haven't seen. Walto. I wonder if he'll show up. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that and how things are going. But this is the one we're going to focus on. So I hope you saw my video with the Kelly Pie. There's a little bit extra to that story because I got home today, I was absolutely starving, and when I get home I usually have to nip out down to the little, not a cafe, little newsagents, and when I come out I usually go into Browning's, the bakers, and today I was starving. And what I was intending to do was not just make a little video of the pie, but a little video of the 2 rolls and mince with brown sauce on them. But the only thing was, is by the time I get out of the car, or get out of the bakery and get into the car, I couldn't put up with the smell of the rolls and mince, so I devoured them in the car before I drove home. So all that was left was the pie. Anyway, the room is up. We're talking nonsense here. They've probably lagged off. Oh, no, they've not. LS3 isn't in, so let me see if I can get the cloth colour changed. Miscellaneous. Up to blue. Well, as I said to Albinario on Facebook, I gave LS3 my advice, and like everybody else, nobody's listened to my advice, and we'll see what she does. Oh, right, aye. Well, I'll start. Thanks for reminding me, Dwight, because I've got that in a shortcut as well. We'll see that starting as soon as LS3 gets in. There you go. Excellent. Now, if you hadn't reminded me there, I'd have totally forgotten about it again. So that's taken care of. So the winner of the lag will put their opponent in, and well, Bedhead looks as if he's won it. No, that's wrong because I didn't the camera round the right way. LS3 won and has put Bedhead in. So off we go. Now Steve won't be in tonight. He can't make it tonight anyway. But I think he said he would try and get in for Sunday night's big match. So LS3 has a start, and she's got the angle in the 6. But the danger with this is those balls are still stuck together there. She need to hit this really hard to try and break them. And if she follows up the table to the right on that 14 ball, she'd get into them. If she goes further up the table on the 13 at any time, or the 7, she's got an angle. You've got to constantly be looking at these options. Well, it wasn't just me who thought that. I think most people would have thought it was strange that Hairpig took that ball. But anyway, that's all in the past. What's done is done. Oh yeah, I mean I could see that coming. That was commentator's eye that saw that. But yeah, I would, as I said in the commentary, I would never even have looked at that 7 ball. It wouldn't have even come into my thought. I would have just nailed it right on the 9 and let Stubb stew. LS3 now has the wrong side of the 13, but the right side of the 7 to push through. Oh, she's got to be a bit more aggressive than that. Got to get into them a bit more. Now, does that 9 go? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, I think it. I can't get my donut to work. That's better. No, there's something going amiss here. My donut's acting up. I wonder if it's anything to do with me using that shift button as a shortcut key. Yeah, my donut's gone. Look, it just keeps disappearing. There's something going amiss. Or it could be just VP4, because strange things happen in VP4 that you can only rectify by either just leaving the room and going back in, or bringing up the menu, doing silly things, and see if it fixes it. Well, that's not fixing it. And for some strange reason as well, LS3's queue hasn't loaded up. So there's something going funny here. Hang on a minute. Let's do a quick leave the room and get back in. And now our queue has loaded. Let's see if my donut's working. No, it isn't. So that's going to stop me being able to go around and look at shots, other than doing this all night. That is almost a combo, I think. And she's looking at calling the 13 onto it. I think it's pretty much getting in the right side of the pocket if you give it the right pace. You've got to watch the cue ball though, depending on the pace here. Things could go amiss with this cue ball. Well, the ball that she called went in. That's all that matters. Another ball went in before it, but that doesn't affect the outcome. And we've now got a reasonably good break ball. I mean, the 15's tight in the pack, but the 4 would do it. Yeah, this is weird what's happened with this bloody V button. That's annoying me. So, LS3 has got a ball to work with here. And I think the chances are that it'd be probably better if she'd had a decent angle in the 2 to get up for the 4, rather than potting the 13 and having to run up to get on this 4. I think she might have a good chance of getting a better angle on this break shot. So this just needs to go out and past the 4. It doesn't need to go far, it just needs to go, well, it needs to go further than that, LS3. That's really poor. That's a bad shot. I mean, what a margin of error she had there. And you can't be doing that. That was not the best shot of the night, shall we say. Welcome to Slim. Well, she's calling the safety, which again is a sensible thing to do, as long as you can hide the cue ball. I don't think there's any damage done, but she's She's going to be nailed to the pack in a second, I would think. Oh no, Bedhead fancies coming back the way. Well, I'm still going to give Stubb credit on what he had to do in that match against Airpig, because you look at the couple of shots Stubb had to play, particularly the one ball. I mean, that was a big shot, the one ball to break the pack, and he went for it and he got it, and he held his nerve to run out to win the match. You've still got to put the balls in the holes, so I gave him credit for that, even though he's an umpty. So Bedhead has his first opportunity. Now this 14 ball is a bit high. I don't know whether he can catch some of this pack. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's just got to let it run. Too much force and he would blast it probably past the pack. But we'll test the replay in a wee second. See if it's still working. Well, he's gone for the bank. Good bank, cue ball into the top of the pack. And the only problem is he's on nothing. He's just going to have to bank this 10 ball into the pack and run for cover here. Try and get length on this cue ball. And that is a good shot. That is excellent. That's where you want to be, within a couple of inches of that top rail as we look, because that makes it difficult for the safety, although the safety's not that difficult in this case because the 11 can just run along the rail. The LS3 doesn't want to go too far. Well, she's exposed the 12 for an easy safety for Bedhead, but again he has to get this thin or he'll catch the jaws of the pocket here. Now, again, got to have a look at the pack, see if there's anything there. There's nothing there at the moment. So we've now got this little safety exchange. Something's going to give in a second or two because somebody's going to nudge something into play. That's what always usually happens. Now again, if you're going to play it off this 8 ball, you've got to be really careful. It's got to be really thin. Get that thick, you're not coming up the table. And that's as thin as you can get, and that was excellent. You know, even if you don't hit the 8 ball, you're only losing a point. It's still a good safety regardless of whether you actually move the 8 ball or not. But that's what we're talking about. That's how thin they have to be. And once again, quick look around, see if anything's changed. Before you play your shot, always have a study at that pack. Good evening to Tommy. I'll probably miss some other people, but welcome anyway. because I'm not always looking at the chat, and I don't remember. You've got to remember, I don't have the chat on my screen anymore. I've got it on my second monitor, which is just an old 14-inch monitor, so I've got to strain to look across to try and read something. What does that say? There's like 1 minute delay on messages. Well, I don't think it's. Is it not improved slightly on YouTube? Why don't you go to Twitch and time it there and see if it's any different? This is good. This is excellent. Bedhead has found the length on that one. And this, at some point, is going to draw the mistake. Now, whether it's Bedhead that does it or LS3, something's going to happen. Again, I don't see anything different there. I'll check my donut again. No, still not working. I would have to actually just do a quick restart in VP4 to fix this. So, Bedhead gets the reward for the good safety. The error has been made, and he might well do a bit of slamming here to get things moving. Well, he's moved a few balls, but he's landed not bad in this 6 to take care of the remaining problem there. Well, that's not bad. That 8 ball will go. In fact, he could play even the combo if he wanted, I think, right now. If he was brave enough, he could push that 8 onto the 11. But I don't think it's worthwhile taking the risk at this stage. But he's still got other issues to deal with. Right, I'm going to restart VP4. That's what I'll do. It won't take long, and it won't kill the stream because I'll be back in good time. If your game goes down, you've always got about a minute or so to get back in before it will kill the stream, and then it restarts another one. So we'll see Bedhead here at the moment. Now that the 15 and 12 aren't really a combo, and you'd have to be pretty good on it to try and make the combo. You'd have to be sort of more or less parallel with them or slightly below them to the short rail here to play the combo, and just push that ball on across and up to make the cut. Well, he's pretty much got to where I was talking about, but he's still got to cut that ball up the table to make the pot. But that was pretty good position to be able to deal with it. Now the other issue is where's the break ball, because the 4 is in the pack, and he's got limited choice here. I mean, the 13 might end up being it, because you can cut that in and bring the cue ball into the pack, and sometimes it's Hobson's choice. You don't have a choice, you just have to take that one shot. So we'll wait to see what the outcome of this is. Oh, you want to come into Discord here, Pig? Right, well, Just give me a minute. So, well, this is going to be a break ball from the middle of the table then. And he looks as if he's going around 2 rails, possibly 3, but if he goes 3 rails, he'll maybe be too far up the table. No, he's just going to 1 rail. Let's have a look. Well, he's certainly going to hit the pack, no doubt about that. Oh dear. But he's missed the crucial thing. He's missed the pot. Well, there you go. So, LS3 back at the table. The match is all square. Just give me a couple of minutes, guys. Hang on a sec. I'll be back with you. One, two. Just testing. Right, well, I'm in Discord. Let me check my donut button. That's good. It's working again.
Hello.
Good evening to Hairpig. Right, Hairpig, let's cut to the chase here before we do anything else. Right? Explain to everybody, and I presume you watched the video. Explain to One Pocket Slim, explain to me, and explain to everybody why that 4 ball attracted you up the table. Or was it the 7 ball? I can't remember. I think it was a 4 ball you should have pushed through on to nail to the 9. Bear in mind you had a reasonable little lead. What was going through your head at that time, or was your head all scrambled?
Well, I shot the ball I was trying to get on in the first place. Obviously, I was trying to get better on it. And when I saw that I got that bad on it, I looked around for safeties, and I didn't see the one that you guys called. So I kind of glanced around a little bit, and not identifying that one, didn't see any options I really liked, and kind of hastily decided I just had to take the tough cut.
Well,
so I did.
See the one that I was talking about. Had you been a more regular player, a cowboy, you'd have played that every day of the week, because that's the little carom force follow shots that we play all the time.
Yeah, I play that one in 9 ball a lot too, actually, but I am less experienced at straight pool and just didn't spot it really.
Just think what would have happened that if you'd nailed Stubb to that and Stubb's still behind. That could have just frustrated him a bit more. But in the end, all said and done, when he got that chance, he took it. And he played a couple of good shots in that run out. And so you can't take you can't take that away from him. He had to play under pressure and did it.
Nice 43 and out there.
But you had him. And so did Sergaresh previously.
I looked back watching through. He beat me to 25 and he beat me to 50. But then I beat him to 75, 100, 125, 150, and 175.
Yeah.
I got to all those marks first, but 200's the one that would have counted.
Now, I'm going to do a little test here, guys. I'm going to try my my mute that I have activated for my mic in XSplit Broadcaster. I want to know whether that affects anything that's going to happen in Discord. So I'm just going to do that now, and then Hairpig can start a bit of commentary, and I'll see if that affects anything, and you can let us know. Here we go.
I still hear you. Does the stream still hear you? Probably not. Makes sense. Ooh, LS just overran this one by 1.5 miles. She rolled literally twice as far as she needed to on that 2-ball. It's tough.
Now I'm now unmuted, so I presume the guys aren't typing anything, so it seems okay.
Looks like it worked. Cobra says he could hear me loud and clear, and nobody said they could hear you. So.
Yeah, the only thing that happens is I've got it. I had to do it with my Alt button, and when I hit the Alt button, it brings up the little, the little cue stick in the screen. But we can easily get rid of that. So Albinario's prediction was 150 to I think 68. That's what Albinario posted on Facebook. It's not looking quite as like that at the moment. LS3's got a little lead.
It's early days, but I think Albie's prediction is very believable, but LS3 winning the match is also very believable. So,
well, Albie's prediction isn't as believable if LS3 does what I told her to do. I gave her free advice, and as I said to Albinario, I've gave lots of people free advice, and nobody's listened to me at all. Now, this is all these people that could be causing problems to players by, taking the money and running, getting what you can and hiding.
Listening to advice and successfully implementing it are two very different things.
That's true. Well,
obviously,
I'm hoping we do get a match. Carry on.
All of us are aware that, when you don't have a shot you're likely to make, you have to play safe. And yet, not all of us are so good at knowing whether we're likely to make the shot that's in front of us. And every time you do make one that maybe you're not supposed to make all that often, you get a little bolder next time. And every time you play safe like LS just did and leave a wide open look at this 9-ball, and who knows how many Bedhead might be able to run from here, you get a little less enthusiastic about your next safety.
Well, it's going to be reasonably difficult to score a lot off of this, the way these balls are set, because he might be able to get, I think he's on the 15.
He's going to smash him open with the 15 right here.
Well, that was good to get into that spot, because he had little margin for error.
Yeah, if he had come up a couple feet shorter, he could have done the same thing off the 2. Although he didn't want to get in between where the 13 was blocking him from both those balls. Anyway, he played that quite well. He's on the 10 if nothing else. Everything's separated, so he's just got to open up lanes from balls to pockets by playing them in a smart order. And moving the 4 as soon as possible is going to be a smart way to do it. You got to get those balls close to the pockets out of the way sometimes in order to end up with a pattern that makes any sense.
Well, these balls are spread very nicely, but as you say, you've got to pick your way through them in the right order. The 2-ball looks to be the ball he's going to work with. I think that's almost a certainty at the moment, unless he starts bumping things and moving it in error.
Yeah, you'd prefer to pick your way through these rather than move anything else, but if you don't get perfect position every shot, sometimes you have to settle for knocking the balls around. The second ball, Bedhead has almost overcut into a side pocket, while the other one he did overcut. Got to be careful on those.
Well, I think he's taking the 8 ball as opposed to the 6 because he doesn't, he's going to run into the 1 by playing the 6, and it could end up getting in the way of the 2.
The 8 ball opened the path for the 3. He came up bad, though. Now he's going to have to play the 6, and I don't think he can avoid the 1.
Yeah, he's in the same position he was 2 seconds ago. You see, he's almost got that 1, and if he had it in line with the 2, that'd be even more of a problem. It's not bad where it is, but
yeah,
he's going to have to try and I think he's a bit too straight in this as well, so he's now got a problem. Just trying to sneak out, and he may well have to take the top one unless he runs through and brushes off the 11, which won't be that good.
Yeah, if he could draw back without hitting the 11 off the 5, then I think he would do it, but I think he's just got a little too much angle.
Well, I don't know, can he sneak behind these? No.
Yeah, he can stun across.
Yeah, he's okay.
Of course, now he's got the same shot on the 5.
Exactly the same as he was before, except he's even more stuck to the rail. So that's why he's having to take the top ball. Doesn't know how to run in. But he could do the same thing, brush the 11 in front of the 2.
Yeah, I think he's got to shoot the 11. It's kind of tricky. He's got to... Yeah, so he could have tried to play the 3 in the opposite pocket to the one he's on, and he could have gotten straight, but he would have had to flirt with hooking himself behind the 2. So he's opted for the more wide open position zone, and can't blame him. Two rails forward or 1 rail straight up?
He looks as if he's got a little bit of right on this to go around the angles. Forward and around and out.
Yeah, that's the shot. Your angle's kind of built in that way. You very rarely would ever overrun and come across to where you're too straight on the 2.
Breakout looks reasonable.
Well, Bedhead's on a 15 with the match now tied up off that last safety attempt.
No worries on the right side. He can take that combo right now if he wants. That's dead set.
I think he will from here.
A blind man with 1 arm and a wooden leg could pot that.
Yep. He's got to go into this main cluster, though. There are not paths to pockets for these balls.
Well, if he gets rid of the 4 and works up the table on that 8, he can get onto the 1.
I think he might go into him off the 7 right now.
Yeah, well, he's enough room. He's got rid of 1 problem, created another. As always the case, when you start nudging balls, you can always nudge something onto something else. But he's still got that 6 ball.
And the 11-6 combo, he can shoot that and bump the 12-14 all at the same time. He could solve it in 1 shot.
That looks pretty good.
Play for that. He's got other ways to go into him too, though.
I've got I've got all of my shortcuts written on my phone so that I can remind me, because I can't see the little shortcut keys that I've got in the stream manager. I'm just having a little look. Right.
I think he just played for that combo. Open everything else up. He cleared a little space around it, which makes it less likely that he's going to tie up one of the balls he's moving with another one. And that's often a good idea if you have the luxury of clearing out a little room first.
Now the thing is how hard does he hit this? Because he could knock the 14 into a break ball.
He's asking LS if she wants him to call these, which I guess he means straightforward combination shots. I think it's a good idea to do it. It's not that hard.
Well, we know the 6 ball's the one he's playing for, and he's got the break ball, albeit right in the corner of the pack. It's not that great.
It's workable. The 3 is also very workable, especially with the 11 where it is. And I suspect he'll play for one of those.
Good evening to Popman. I never noticed you there. You sneaked in the door. Good evening to Wit. And presumably when I hit that mute option now, it doesn't give any noise. You know, there's no noise of it going into mute, if you know what I mean. That crackly noise when I switch it in the mic headset.
I didn't hear any.
Yeah, well, that takes care of that problem.
Yeah, I think any software mute would probably not have that issue.
Well, Bedhead moves on to 24. Moves into a 10-point lead. Has a couple of options for break balls.
Be interested to know what he would do. I think, well, now we know, because he only played for the 14, so he's obviously going to try to break him with the 3.
Now the question is he going to drop in behind that 11, drop behind the 3 and play the 11 up table? Because I don't think he's got many other options here.
Well, he can draw, which is what he has done.
He's trying to draw up. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is the problem. He's now way too far away from this 11.
He's got to jack up and hit a delicate draw shot. And this can go wrong.
No,
wow, he made that look way easier than I make it look.
Looks pretty good to me.
He seems pretty comfortable.
Yeah, well, if you get to within like a foot and a half of the object ball that you're playing to break, it makes it a lot easier.
Oh, I can still miss him easy.
Now, what
I
about
can miss on these pockets anywhere.
That 9 and 6, I think they'll do as a combo. If it comes to it, you should already be aware of that.
Right. Oh, he played for it right here, I think. That's his only real cluster. The 8 not passing the 5, sort of an issue. But he might draw into one of those balls right now. He'd have the 9 as a insurance ball if he did.
Right, well, they're all in the pack, those 3 balls. So the 13 or the 8.
Well, the 10's out.
Well, there's a 10 outside. In fact, so is the one. I'm looking at it from there and saying either both in, but when you get around, you see they're not.
The 1's outside, but I don't think it's in a good spot unless you're going to break with it in the side pocket. So I think the 10 is his best option, and the 8 and the 5 are backups.
Well, he's out of position here. He's out of position here. That 1 and 2 are dead set.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well, that'll help.
They are dead on.
Yeah,
He's going to have to bail out, but he could. Well, the 8 ball isn't pretty, so that's not going. That's way too dodgy from that side.
yeah, that's that problem I called out earlier and thought he should try to fix. I wonder if it'll come back to haunt him.
Well, he's in good shape now because he's got to where he wants to be to deal with this situation here and take out what he needs to.
Yeah,
He's still got the 4 up table, which won't do him any harm.
He's going to play the 5 now, I bet.
Well, Bedhead's getting down to some hard work here. The run's 38.
Cobra predicts a Swedish final.
Albinario and Bedhead. Well, that means one of them's going to have to do it the hard way then.
Well, that'd be Bedhead.
They're going to have to take Stubb out in the 1 loss side to get to the final. Or anybody else they might meet.
Well, let's see if Albie beats Tommy and then Stubb, then Bedhead would have to go through me and then Stubb to get back to the finals.
Bit of a minefield. Well, the 8 ball is it.
That's the one that's left. The thing about the 10 is that the 4 kind of, I don't know, to me led to easier position on it. The 8, he's got a smaller target off the 4. It seems like to have a angle that he likes on the 8.
Well, I just think you multiply the difficulty of the shot by distance. The further away you get, and especially this angle, I just think it makes an awful lot more difficult.
Well, in real life, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
In virtual pool, I'm not sure. It's a smaller effect. The fact that distance makes the shot harder.
Well, the run ends in 42.
In 9-ball, I will play for a lot more distance in virtual pool than I will in real life because, your stroke never goes offline. And playing for more distance makes a wider open position zone a lot of the time.
I mean, excuse me, the yawning started early. That 8 ball would have been in last year, no problem, but not in these pockets.
Yeah, and it seems like the overcut is the miss on these break shots. I think because the ball cuts a little more when you hit it harder.
Well, we're going to find out what LS3's made of here straight away because now she's chasing Bedhead. Let's see what she can gather from this little collection that's in the middle of the table. Yeah, but not everybody's like you, Cobra, with these blind pocket shots.
Cobra said that a while back. He was talking about Bedhead going through Stubb on the 1 loss side not being hard.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the cut in the 8 ball or the break shot there.
No. The cut on the 8 ball isn't hard either. It's making it, 90% of the time instead of 75% of the time. That's what's hard.
Now, she's out of line here. I mean, the fact that she's got the 9 up the table, but she's going to take the 12.
Yeah, the 12 goes. So that's...
The thing is, that 12 ball would be good to break those out if you get rid of the 6.
It would have been. However, she can use the 1 to go into them. Or if she gets up to the middle of the table, she can use the 11 to go into them. She'd prefer to save the 11 for breaking the next rack, but can't always have what you want.
I thought you were going to burst into the Rolling Stones there, Pig.
No, I need some American music there.
You can't always get what you want.
My mom used to sing me that song when I was little and whining. Used to break into that one.
Well, this will break into these balls if you can just clip the 10 and clip the 14. Doesn't need to be hard, just needs to make the pot. She's going to hit it. Just skim it and that will nudge the 5 out. Well, maybe hit it a wee bit firmer than that, but the cue ball would have been leaking away, which is probably the one thing she wouldn't have wanted. So now we have the issue with there isn't an issue with the 4 and 5 if you cut that 14 now, even though it's a dodgier angle. You maybe never get good on this 14 again, because that opens the 4 and 5 right up, getting rid of it.
It does. The issue is that there are now only 5 balls left on the table, and 3 of them have to be played in the right order.
Oh. Well, she's done for here. The 6 will go. The 5 doesn't go because she can't see it.
Well, if she plays the 6 and follows over to the side rail, she's got the 14.
This is a bit tight. That was okay.
Ooh.
Now, the only problem now, of course, is we know what's going to happen here.
Burn the break ball and then try to nudge one of those other 2 balls into break position.
This needs a delicate touch here. Oh, I think
the angle's pretty good.
She can pinch even a wee bit more if she needs to, but it's just a gentle brush and hope you still have a shot.
And is she good on the 13, 14? She's
not really
makeable, but not what you'd call good.
Yeah, when you're like that, you've got to try and pick that angle and just convince yourself you're playing it at the right angle, because this can easily just go to the short rail.
Mm-hmm. And she's got to hit it with a little pace to go to the side rail and back to center. Oh no!
She's going to be blocked off. Oh no, she can see it.
She can see it, so she can go 1 rail into the pack if she wants.
Well, going to need a fair bit of inside. Lots of checking the cue ball to get this to deviate into the pack.
Yeah, and then if you hit any of those balls square, you're just stuck to the pack with no shot.
Now this is where you like do that, and now you're just going to have to give away a point here, I think, or lose a point, because you can't obviously go up the table.
Yeah, I think you take the foul from here, and then the trouble is you're on the first foul. Looks like Sylvia's playing well against Larry in the Friday Night 9 ball. And Stefan beating Speck.
Yeah, well, they're getting the use of their handicap at the moment. So 1 foul for LS3, and Bedhead will do the same. So 1-all.
It's an easier choice to take that foul when your opponent is already on the first one.
That's better.
LS got off the foul without leaving a shot, so pretty good. And see, because of where the balls are, there's more pressure on each safety shot because there are threats. The 6 goes from a variety of positions. Well, mostly the 6, but now also the 9. There are threats being developed with each of these safeties, and pretty soon there will be so many of them that somebody won't be able to avoid selling out.
Now, what is she looking at here? That looks pretty good, that.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
The 14 and 2.
Unfortunate from Bedhead.
Well, she's got to go forward here, I think, to get herself into the table and have a shot after this.
She's going to hit the 14 twice, I think. with follow, meaning she has to kind of amp up on it a little more than she might think.
No, she's not.
She's calling the shot.
Yeah.
She's looking backwards for some reason.
She's probably looking at it from the pocket side.
Probably a good idea.
And every day of the week.
See, she hit the 14 twice, though, as I called, and she didn't have enough topspin on it to keep following after that second contact.
Had to get that pace in it.
So now she's got another tough shot instead of having the cue ball toward the middle of the table for an easy shot on the 9.
Well, these are the worst shots, cueing over a ball and then with a cut angle on a ball and a distance to the pocket.
At least her cue is relatively level sometimes.
I think she's just over the edge. She might be actually just in the gap with the 8 and the 12.
Yeah, just in a little valley between those two balls, kind of.
It's another good shot if it just holds it. No, just caught the knuckle.
Tough.
And after all of that, it's only a run of 1. It seemed like a lot more. But it's still, an 11-point deficit. And more to come here from Bedhead. And he's got that 14 ball as a bailout should anything go wrong down the bottom end here. Which is never a bad thing. Now, what's Potman saying?
Geez, I must be tired.
What's that? Potman 2-0. What does that mean?
He's reporting the score of a different match, and I guess he got it wrong and someone corrected him.
Oh, look who's arrived in the room. The riff-raff has arrived. Now, there's obviously some people who have joined the stream since it started, and they haven't had the privilege of seeing this, so I'm going to show them it just to annoy people. You just got to hope I don't keep doing this every 15 minutes, like American TV have commercials. But let me show you this. Let me try and remember what button I press. Right, let's try this while this is going on. Welcome back. I'll do that every 15 minutes. Let me know when it starts to annoy you.
All right, so the 9's a pretty good break ball, but the 8 is an obvious problem with it.
Now, has he got a slight angle in that? No, he hasn't. I thought he made a slight angle to nudge into the 8 there, but clearly he didn't. He might be playing the combo now. Well, that's a bit ugly.
Brush the 9.
Yeah, he's obviously on the 13, but you don't want to be taking that combo at that angle, but sometimes you have to make do.
He doesn't have that many options on the 8. He's kind of got to bump it.
Once again, he looks as if he's trying to draw this time to get a nudge. That'll do it. Problem solved. Bailout ball still up the table, so as long as he doesn't forget that.
Now, will he break them with the low 8, or?
Well, I would think that he might. I mean, the thing is that he's clearly not played for the 9 to finish there. He must have played for the 14. Now he's going to have to dig into this.
Yeah, he didn't mean to do that. You can see he had some frustration on that shot. He looks like he's going to break him with the 9 after all.
Well, all of a sudden it's become hard work, this rack, right at the end. Now he needs to stay sort of roughly there, and that's not bad.
Maybe just a little bit straighter in than he wanted to be.
Well, again, wants to hit a corner somewhere, and well, that will do it.
That worked out. You can certainly, if he had hit that ball any softer, obviously he makes the 9-ball shot a little easier, but he sticks to the rack kind of all the time. Wow.
Oh dear. Big miss there.
That looked like a hair pig shot.
Well, it's only a run of 13, but it's a lead of 24. So once again, for the second time, LS3 is chasing tail and trying to eat into this deficit. And again, there's a bailout ball for it, that 3 ball. Anything crops up, it's always there as a backup. But it's quite deep in the pocket, which always makes it more difficult to really judge where the cue ball's ending up once you've hit it.
Yeah, sometimes it can help if the ball's a little more to one side of the pocket the way the 3 is. It gives you, more of that long rail to use for position play. I think she's got to play this combo.
Well, shouldn't be any issue here. Now, is she going to be a bit aggressive here, though, and try and nudge something? Yeah, she is. Got the wrong ball, though. That
did not work.
That bye ball goes at the back of the bunch. Now, if you just get square on it, you've taken care of an issue here. But she might be trying it again from that side.
I think instead of trying to go into him off that ball, it might have been smart to try to get good on the 1, because the 1 leads you to that angle on the 5 where you can open them up.
Well, it's pretty much an unmissable shot because you're calling the 3 and rolling the 1 onto the 3. Well, there's a problem dealt with. Now, has that 13 gone good? I think it has.
Is definitely suitable for break ball. And the 3 ball serves its purpose as bailout ball.
No, that is Simanx, Simon Lacey. Oh, that is Preacher. That's the first time I've seen. Is that Preacher from VP4? That's the first time I've seen him in the stream. Welcome. I'm having to stand to actually, stretch my legs for a start and actually read the chat.
Cue ball does not want to cooperate for LS. I'm pretty sure that's exactly where she didn't want it to land.
Yeah. Now, again, I'm just going to take this opportunity to remind people, I've got no problem with people watching on Twitch. A lot of people prefer watching on Twitch, but if you are on YouTube, just hit a subscribe. I've been, how long have I been streaming now? About 9 years or more, I can't remember. And my target is still to get to 1,000. It's going to be a long haul. I'm in 518 unless somebody unsubscribes tonight.
She crashed into her break ball there.
Yep.
I think the 13 will still work.
Yeah, it'll still work. And she can see the 10, so I don't know why she's bailing out this way.
Now,
Now, that maybe needed a wee bit more thought, because now she's sort of in no man's land in terms of what she's going to do to try and recover this situation. I mean, she could take the more difficult shot up table and try and bring the cue ball into the pack, which might be a tall order. But she's now looking for the angle to get back around when the 6 is spotted, and that's not really great. Too straight. So take the point, run for cover. That was the instruction she was given. But she's trying her best.
She got into it.
Now, unfortunately, she ain't got anything.
Yeah, she did well to get 4 balls into the open, but none of them cooperated very well.
Now, hang on a minute. No, that 15's blocked with the 2. I was just having a look just in case that was maybe a 3-ball combo pushing the 15 onto the 13, but it's nothing set. Well, that 12 ball just coming back up there saved a nasty situation.
Well, she's leaving the 8 as a little bit of a tempter.
And Bedhead, I don't think, is going to refuse. The worst that can happen, he'll be on the 1. Then again, he's maybe thinking better of it. She's, LS3's got herself back to within 10. Now we've got a little tactical battle we're moving into.
LS says she's trying to lose with 100% pot success. Apparently she hasn't missed a ball yet. Not 100% safety success, though. This is the second time she's had a safety result in pretty straightforward shot for Bedhead.
You're right enough what you're saying there, Whit, by the way. Now, what with this 1 ball? Does it go? No. Now, what happened to LS3 there? What did she do? Because I was busy reading the chat.
She played a soft safety trying to roll back underneath the stack and didn't get there and left a ball straight into one of the up table corners.
Well, this is going to be either a big stun to do a little bit of damage or just come round for the 13.
Now, I like to overcut this ball when I stun it into the pack. Bedhead apparently likes to make it because he's fancy.
Well, he's going for the hit again here, I would think, because it's a perfect angle to get a hit.
I'm not sure how badly he needs to hit these balls anymore.
Well, the problem is the 2 ball. The 2 ball is awkward to get to clear it for that 4 and 7, so he may well go for the nudge. I don't think he'll be able to resist it. I think it's more likely he'll improve the situation by at least hitting the 2 if he can. Nope. Well, he's got better plans than I have.
Well, he's got the angle on the 9 where he can come around for the 11. Maybe bump into the 5 while he's at it.
Now,
maybe just shoot the 3 from here.
Preacher man, I'm not going to give you any more clues. I presume you're asking what my channel is on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in 9ball.com. You will definitely find me that way.
Well, it turned out he wasn't actually on the 9 at all. He was barely hooked, so had to go around this way.
Now bear in mind, the commentator's not usually always wrong. He was on that 13 ball with a chance to deal with this 2, 4 and 7 situation. Well, he's on the 2 now. That would take him up the table, and the worst thing would happen there, he'd have to play a cut. Now he's got the break that way, so yes, Bedhead had a better idea. But how good is he going to be on that 14 and 5? Because that's a situation that remains. Now, I don't know what way he's going to do this. He could land in the 2 and come up behind the 14 and 5. He could cut it in and come across. Running out of options again. This is what always happens. You get to this critical stage in the rack. Now, how tight is that 15 in the rail? Well, he's got the little break from behind. And he's still okay. Let's check this ball out.
15's off the rail a bit.
Yeah, a couple of millimetres. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, enough to make it not too scary for a player like Bedhead. Snakes has been kicked out under another username, it seems.
Yeah, that's one of his names, yeah. And he's been sent for three days again. I mean, this gets me off in a rant, this, right? The guy's clearly a bit of an idiot. But until he starts being a bit of an idiot, should that not be the rule that the moderators are actually following? I mean, according to, who was it I spoke to? Was it Simon or was it? I can't remember, but they said that, I said something similar and they said, well, Steve supports it. Well, I thought the chat administration or the moderation was down to the fact that if somebody starts doing something, then you mute them for 5 minutes. And then if they keep doing it, you escalate it, and then you kick them. But he's constantly just been kicked, which you have to give even though he's a bit of an arsehole, you have to give him the chance to then be an arsehole and then deal with it rather than just keep kicking him. Or, as I said before, if he's so much trouble, then ban him and stop him altogether. Simple as that. Yeah, well, if he's never learning, then get rid of him permanently. And whatever accounts he comes in, just ban them all. So no angle for the break shot.
Yeah, he really couldn't contact the pack there. So he plays the safety.
Just needs to slow up.
That's
that has
good.
done. Now, the thing is, do you think he's clever enough to do stuff like that? He's certainly not that clever if he keeps coming in the same accounts that they all know that's him.
Ugh, now Stubb is in somebody else's tournament room. At least that's a much more positive and harmless message than he normally goes with.
Oh, that's a point away. Now this little safety exchange here, this is something that LS3 should be doing her best to try and win it, and she might have just won it there because Bedhead's fallen short. And LS3 doesn't want to get too aggressive with this. She's going to hit the 3. But there's already balls in play, so she just wants to get out in the open. And that was good enough just to get up table.
She did just like you said.
And
doesn't have to split the entire pack open. She just had to get her cue ball free.
So the first objective's been done there, albeit it was an unforced error from Bedhead. So she's got to capitalise and get rid of these, and certainly if she can get good on that one ball. Now, what about that combo that's sitting in the left there? It looks as if it might be. Then again, when you look behind it, it isn't. The 15 and the 10. But if she can get on that one, she's not really sitting good to do that.
Yes, I think she has to play it from here.
She's going to try and do it from the side, so big hit and too much action on it.
She clipped him.
Now, did that little clip do anything though? No.
It did not move that one combo. It doesn't really look like it made anything else available. She can draw into him. Well, she didn't.
Now, this angle looks a bit better.
Well, she's going to run out of time. Run out of balls to use to open these.
Well, the 7 goes. It's a dodgy little cut into the side, and she will land on the footballs at in the middle of the table. Is that the 14?
It is the 14.
Well, she'll have a shot in that. I don't know whether she'll just brush off the 6 or miss the 6. She might just miss it, but she'll still be in play. It all hinges on this, though. She's caught the 6. No harm done, no. But now's the shot to roll through. Well, let me look at the angle. Well, if she just rolls through far enough, not a lot, she can still slam the 6 and get into the bunch.
I think she's got to shoot the 14, stop her ball, and cut the 3 next to break them.
In fact, looking at the 3, the 3, from where that 14 is, she can certainly get the 3.
I don't know if she's on it now. Did she go far enough forward where the 8's got her?
Well, I think she can get the 3.
All right. Well, she's certainly got enough angle to break the pack if she can see it.
Well, she's not convinced herself, so got to get into the cue ball a bit, which she has. Wow. Got the pot, cue ball. Yeah. Disaster.
That's not lucky. But desperate shots have desperate results sometimes. She kind of ran out of...
In that situation there, she probably would have been better. I mean, it's all in hindsight, but the 3 ball I think she could get to clean to make that pot. But she didn't obviously think it could, or she wasn't comfortable with it. But when you start letting that cue ball really go loose, anything can happen. And the run ends only on 6. And now Bedhead's going to be taking the straight opportunity immediately to split the problem. Quick look at the 9. The 9 is off the rail by about 3 millimeters.
6 and 15 are both good break balls. The 6, it might be problematic to try to save the 6 if he can't get an angle on the 3 to avoid moving it.
Now this match is beginning to take shape like a lot of matches where, a player of Bedhead standard is generally going to capitalise more when there are opportunities given. He's going to put more away, and LS3 has failed in a way there. Okay, she scratched, but the immediate goal is to clear the deficit when you have that opportunity, that visit to the table. And the more opportunities that you get to do that, and the more times you fail, you're then flogging a dead horse because you're going further and further behind. That's the pattern that looks as if it's going to be. It's still only 21 behind, so it's not doom and gloom and it's all over. You've still got to stick to your game plan.
Bedhead shoots the 15, so I guess he'll be breaking him with the 6. But he puts some pressure on himself to get an angle on the 3 where he doesn't end up messing up the 6. And he got there nicely on this shot.
So Bedhead is halfway home, and the match has been going for an hour and 12. Now, I'm going to tempt fate here and say something, and it'll probably bring about what I'm about to mention. I messed about with YouTube last night after the stream, or after whatever night it was, to try and prevent these spam bots from coming into YouTube. We haven't seen one yet, or at least if I have, I've missed it. Anyway, good angle, good hit, cue ball. Well, unbelievable. I mean, at that angle,
the draw into the side is not one of your more common scratches.
Well, there's a bonus for LS3. This type of thing might just work in her favour. Bedhead fails on 6. And now this is a good opportunity to get to work. Serious thought involved here.
Of course, hindsight makes it easier to say this, but I think that break shot he hit might have been better with a high ball.
Yeah.
Because of the angle that he was cueing at in the first place means the top spin would be hooking the cue ball forward into the bottom rail after contact with the rack.
Now, angle on this 12 to get a hit with a nice medium stunt, and worst possible scenario would be on the 11. But she hasn't taken that opportunity. I mean, these are immediate issues that you have one opportunity there to take a risk and get a hit on them, and she hasn't done it. Now, the other issue then would be, if you're going to fall back on the 10 ball, you have to get rid of that 11. And now she's blocked out right side. And this is now taking a nasty turn, because this 7's got to be flushed. And she's chickened out, has she? Oh, it's just got legs. Just got legs to get there.
Likes to leave us in suspense for a moment, that LS. She was comfortably enough on the 5. She's comfortably enough on the 15.
Well,
she's got to find a way into the central cluster.
What about, I don't know whether she can draw off this, or they'll tell a lie, the 11's still there, isn't it? I'm forgetting about that. And now she's stuck to the rail, but the 11's got to go, and it may well be a long 2 up the table, because she can't really do an awful lot with the cue ball, and none of those 2 go into the side. Not really.
2 in the side, though.
Now, how's she thinking here? Is she thinking get nice on this 13 and get good on the 10?
I think maybe the 9 to open them right here.
Or the 9.
The 13.
Now, this 9 is no worse than what that 3 ball was in the previous rack. You know, she's given it a good look at the angle, but still worried about the 6 ball. And she might fall back in the 13 here. I think she's having the same doubt she had with the 3 ball that I thought would go. And this is no different.
Well, the thing about this one is the 6 doesn't hit the rest of the balls, I think.
No.
So she may only move the 6 ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's clean past the 8.
Yep, she only moved the 6, and it went in to make matters worse.
Well, she's okay.
She's on the 10 on the side.
Can bail out. And, of course, now that opens up the 8 and the 3.
If she stops her ball, she'll have the... Oh, that's a clever way to get on them.
Now, this run into the 8 ball, you don't want to really be locking that up towards the 13. This is dangerous.
Yeah, you have to get the speed right and push the 8 basically all the way to the rail, I think.
Well, I think the path that this is going close to the 13.
She flirted with it.
Well, she can certainly just chip off this 8 and avoid the 13. Just a little jab.
It ended up fine, but it could have gone wrong.
Well, you run through. The problem with that is she's ended up pretty straight in the 14. Just needed a little jab off that 8 to draw it back and leave a nice angle on the 14. She's now got herself... I mean, it's a big stun to come out.
She doesn't need to get out that far.
Well, let's see what happens. Well, that's almost on the parallel line.
Your countryman who just ran 714 balls recently would have left that cue ball stuck to the rail, basically. So he'd have more angle on the 13.
Yeah. Well, he must have done it on a pretty regular basis to get that 714. I'd love to see it, or at least see a good chunk of it. But that'll never happen.
Well, I think it will probably be available for viewing soon, not necessarily for free ever. But
well, I'll get the bootleg version. Well, that was a good break shot.
Bobby Chamberlain, the guy who put on the event where he was getting people to come in and try to break the record, where Jason Shaw eventually did, he was very outspoken critic of John Schmidt not making his 626 run publicly viewable.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be very hypocritical if the recording of the 714 didn't end up being publicly available, if for some kind of fee.
Well, LS3 slowly but surely here. The run is just 17, with more to come, and only 6 behind. So she's in the game. Now she's going to go for a little nudge here off this 5. I think it seems a pretty good enough angle to be having a go, because again, you've got to weigh up the risk. The 8 ball's up there as a bailout. But again, LS3 clearly has a plan to be picking these off to get rid of any issues.
Well, she's bumped him a bit there.
Well,
all 3 of these.
Yeah, nine ball out the way they all go.
Yeah. All 3 of them go in this pocket. So if she plays the 9 and works her way around there, she can play a little 1 pocket.
I like what Slim said. No, the pocket.
Did not.
The pocket size was what you describe as in VP4 as normal. 5-inch pockets they were, I think.
Yeah, or maybe 4.9. Not that you can really tell the difference of a tenth of an inch, really, when you're playing.
Well, I think we could agree that it's the 6 ball.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 6 ball. I mean, the 12 is in the pack, so that's not really in the running unless it moved, and the other balls are obviously not as well situated.
Now, I'll ask the guys in the chat if they were paying attention, because I wasn't, and I'm the one that was actually looking at the stats. When I was running down, did I run down the high runs? Yes, I did. I never got to actually go low enough to see where LS3 was in this thing. But she's on 26 at the moment. We'll have a look. I'll have a quick look in a sec.
Actually played so far.
Well, this is the critical one again. I think the fatal thing she's done there is she's brushed the 6. It's still in play though. It might actually be better where it is, but got to get out and get good on it. I think she's maybe straight as well here. Well, pretty much so. Bounce.
LS3 has a 37.
Well, this is a bit straight, but she can certainly get a pinch. And this cue ball, she's going to draw into it. I don't believe she's going to keep the cue tip there. If she does, she's asking for trouble.
Yeah, if you stun or go forward at all, you're heavily risking the scratch.
I'm waiting on the cue tip getting drawn down. That'll do it.
Yep.
This has to be nice and firm, but you got not too much bottom because you don't want to fizz off the pack and come up table like that. But
Well,
as long as you get away with it, it's okay. Now, hang on a sec. I'm just going to have a look. Where the hell's this tournament page? To have a look at the stat. What did you say, 30 odd?
37.
Right, let's see where she is in the list. Quick look.
In the upper middle of the pack.
Right, so she's down there. Well, what's her first target then? Her first target's Snake Eyes, and then Sergeresh, and then Moz, and then Larry. I probably jinxed her by saying that, but let's get back to it.
She's passing people every couple of balls as soon as she starts improving from her current high run.
Well, this now is she going to play the 12 up table and run into them? Nope.
Wow.
Well, I bet you wishes she did then. Now is she?
Surprised she managed to get into those balls at all.
Well, this is definitely end of visit. I've put the cursor on it. I think she should have looked at that 12 and just killed the cue ball for the 12 up the table. But again, hindsight is brilliant. It never fails.
Almost looks like she could cut the 13 in the corner.
Well.
Oh, well, she left the 5. That's
yeah,
not going to work.
I don't know whether she's stopped and thought much about that, because that's a big mistake. Or how big a mistake is it going to be, though? The run ends in 31. The lead is whatever it is, because I can't count it this time of night. 6. My brain's half in bed.
7 before Bedhead took the 5 there.
Well, that was shaping up to be something pretty good there, but I just think she chose the wrong option. You know, when you start running into the pack and they're clustered balls, you know, there's always that possibility of getting nailed onto something. But when there was a ball out in the open and you could play for it, and it could be a good ball to actually break the pack, then why she didn't take that, I don't know. She's trying to be a little bit more aggressive there. And Steve's come in for a quick look, I notice.
Hi, Steve.
Well, in the room, that is. I don't think he's in the stream.
No, I don't think so either. Bedhead's got a good situation. The little line of 3 balls in the rack area all pass into the pocket that he's playing the 12 in. Yeah,
how much hard work is LS3 going to have to do again if she gets back to the table? That's the question.
Well, interestingly, Bedhead's high run of the tournament is exactly the same. Not exactly the same. It's just a couple more balls than he needed when he got back to the table to win this match. So if he can pull that kind of inning out again, then LS doesn't have to shoot another shot.
Well, dare I say it again, in your presence, here, Pig, but could that wrong choice of shot there by LS3 backfire on her big time?
Could have. It was I don't know, maybe less spectacularly wrong. I don't know. It was certainly as damaging as a shot can get.
Quick look at these two. Well, really, you do want to be getting rid of the one first of all, the 9. If you were sitting right behind it from this angle, you could pop it past the 1 and, dead weight it and cheat it into the pocket at a stretch. But
it's a lot of cheat, though. You don't want to do that from any distance.
You've got to get rid of the 1.
Well, he's on it. He can roll forward 2 rails for the 7 in the side if he doesn't want to count on. Oh, okay. He didn't have to bump the 9. That made it easier to play position on the 9.
I never even noticed. Who's Dale Bohannon? Didn't even know that guy was in the stream. Well, thanks for watching. Who was it?
He said it's Preacher.
Oh, no.
YouTube and...
No, there was a guy called Preacher, somebody, and I asked if that was Preacher from VP4, and they said yes. Did he go to YouTube and change his name then?
He went over to YouTube and as this new name said, this is Preacher.
Ah, well, he subscribed then, so that's me up to 519 then, unless somebody's unsubscribed. Oh, I hate these. This is a big shot.
I'm not sure you're a big-time YouTube streamer if you know your subscriber count.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
To the exact number.
I count them going up and going down. I mean, it went up to 518, then it went down to 517. Where's the cue ball going?
John Virgo has entered the chat.
Well, this is deja vu, isn't it? Because Bedhead a couple of racks ago scratched, LS3 came in, got rid of the deficit, and now she's back at the table from a similar situation from the scratch. And I'm sure it was the break shot as well, was it not? I'll need to watch the replay.
Yeah, Bedhead scratched, drawing the ball into the side.
Right.
Off the rack.
Yeah, that was a narrow angle. Yeah.
This one he scratched by skipping across the top of the pack and going cross side.
Well, it might not seem that important, but in terms of the scoreboard here, this is a big visit for Elliot. Well, commentators curse. Commentators curse straight away. That's a disaster.
It is.
That is a big, big fail.
It hurts so much to get a good opportunity and run a 1.
Yeah,
in this game.
You can't do that.
I've run a few 1s and 2s in every match I've had this tournament, and they're so demoralizing. Yeah, well, thanks for watching, Preacher. Come back soon. She'll be kicking herself from that, because you just cannot do that when we're getting to this part of the match. I mean, she could have applied a bit of pressure there to Bedhead, and if anything, that might set his mind at ease that LS3 is the one that's shown a little bit of nervous tension. Well, there's still work to do in this rack to get it tidied up, but Bedhead usually does his best to find a way. But he's going to be in 3 figures in a second. And he's also got a couple of break ball options from, well, really from both sides if he wants them. He's got choices, but there's going to be a bit of tidying up on the right side first of all, though. Yeah, none of those 3 balls really want to pass each other. So he moved them all, and that's going to work out well.
Well, Steve's still in the room, so he's still interested.
Guess
Oh,
so.
I wonder what Steve would have thought of that 2-ball from LS3 there. I don't think he'd be that impressed. As we go 92 minutes into the match.
Well, Steve should understand about missing balls that the top players make every time. I saw him play that 8-ball tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve now knows his limitations. He's steering well clear of the tournaments. He's like me. So, looks like the 1-ball.
Oh.
Well, there's another mistake from Bedhead. Now, gather your thoughts, LS3.
Little inside English, grabbed that ball and threw it forward from the normal cut line.
Now, got to make the most of this. Certainly got to get out here in this rack. That's the first objective. Get out and get going in the next one and see what you can do and apply the pressure. But you've got to get that deficit down. It's 10 at the moment.
Well, she'll be very relieved.
But
to be back at the table so soon after her previous miss.
Albinario's prediction is blown out the water here, I'm afraid, if he's still there watching. LS3's been doing most things the right way. Could do be scoring a wee bit heavier. She had her biggest contribution. Is that going to get there? Yep.
I'm guessing Albinario thought that Ellis would have fewer opportunities than she has. Because I'm sure he's aware that she's a good enough player to run some balls when she does get the chance.
We've had 3 big errors that I can count. There's probably been maybe 1 or 2 more at the most from Bedhead. The 2 scratches and that miss there in the side pocket. Oh dear. Well, again, it's a contribution of 0 and 3. That is not good enough. Not when it's getting to the nitty gritty. I think LS3 is feeling the pinch here.
Yep.
It's starting to get to her a little bit. And hopefully she's not seeing the finishing line and starting to get the wrong thoughts in her head. She just needs to concentrate on the lay of these balls. The scoreboard takes care of itself as long as you stay focused on what you're doing. Now, is this right in the corner? Yeah, it's a dead hit on these last 2 balls, or even the 6 and the 8 together.
It's
For the
not gonna
breakout.
hit the 8. It'll hit the top of the 12, I think. Yep, top of the 12 and bottom of the 6.
Let's have a look. A cue ball running around the angles. Now, he could end up just rolling through for... Yeah, he's managed to find a gap. That was a good little line just to run through that gap between the 2 balls.
Yeah, it looks like he was counting on making his way through there. He didn't really have to like what he got if he crashed into something on the way.
Well, as this Bedhead's run to the finishing line, he's got a reasonable setup here, but he's just got to pick his way carefully through these. Now, what about that combo? That 15 and 5. I think it's going to the jaw. It's going to the point. So
it is. There's a little bit of distance between the balls though, where that cut angle can be manipulated.
But the 15 and 5 go into the side, so again, it's not a major issue. As long as you just pick them out. He could do that now. He could get rid of the 15. He seems to be focused on other things at the moment, but he's got an ideal situation to get rid of that.
I like playing the 15 now because you can roll forward off the 5 and end up on the 9 and 3 in the corner, just like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the best way to deal with this.
Yeah, he's on the ball. He's got all his faculties working here.
So I liked playing the 9 and stunning forward for the 8, which offers position on the 2 and 12. Bedhead has gone another route. He got on the 8. He just did it. I liked, for some reason, getting the 9 out of there, but maybe he'll break him with the 9, actually. So
Yeah, what about getting rid of one of those 2 balls behind the pack there?
yeah, after the 8, I think that's what he's...
Well, maybe not. I don't know what he was... Maybe he was thinking to nudge something. He's still on the 6, obviously, but I don't know. Got to take one of them now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm not sure why he put another ball in between the 8 and solving his one problem area, but I would have tried to do it more directly.
I'm just going to have a look at the stats in a minute, Potman, to see if it's worth my while watching your match. I could be working to 2 p.m. on Sunday. I'd need to check. I know I am next week. I'm working to 2 p.m. Sunday. Well, that's caused an issue.
Certainly has.
It's the cardinal sin. He's nudged a ball at the wrong time, created an issue.
Go around.
And he'll be able to deal with it. Now,
nicely judged.
He's sitting pretty because I think the only danger here is how heavy he hits this 4. And because it's heading towards the 9.
He might be able to miss it.
Alright, he's just nicked back off it.
And now he can float forward to the middle of the table. Or go off the end rail, but I like to use less speed when I can. He went the end rail route, and he judged it beautifully.
Acero's not been that great, by the way, Potman. Oh dear, well, LS3, make the most of it. It's another miss by Bedhead. Now, what have we got here? We've got a 23-point lead that has to be gotten rid of. And LS3 really needs to just... Remember, no shot clock here. There is no rush. I mean, I'm not being in favour of LS3, but what I'm getting at is that she makes the most of the opportunity and does her best to get everything out of this rack to make a match of this. It's already a match, but if she doesn't score anything substantial here to get rid of this deficit, that might be her last chance. We've got to really get 100% concentration.
She looked a little tentative with how she hit that 3. She left herself in kind of an awkward spot by... it seems like she needed to baby in the 3 in order to be confident about it.
See, the thing is, when you're the underdog and you're not expected to win, there's no pressure on you. You know, you're not going to come out any more shamefaced than you might feel if you lost heavily. You know, you're in the game. You've got a great chance to cause an upset here and make the most of it and just relax. You know, play your game. Don't take too many risks and do the right things. That's all you ask of yourself.
I think she's been a little too risk averse in these first two shots of this run, because
Yeah.
what it looks like to me is she took the two balls she couldn't imagine missing and ended up on nothing. Oh, is she on the 7?
Well,
That'll save her if she is.
that's not going. What's she doing here?
She thinks she can cut the 7.
No. Well, you've got to convince me a lot. Well, it almost got there, but it was a big, tall order. But again, it has to go down as a fail. It's only 2.
Yeah.
But
It didn't look like she did enough with the cue ball on those 2 shots. She was just kind of trying to make sure she made a couple balls. And
yeah, as you said, you know, you've got to be positive. You know, play the shot properly. When you start being tentative, that's asking for trouble. You've got to go right through with the shot and do it the right way and get that cue ball where it's supposed to be. If you start chickening out and hanging off the shot, you know, the cue balls at some point just going to end up in trouble. And that was all over all too soon. I mean, that was an unexpected opportunity there again for LS3, and I think this time it could be the fatal blow from Bedhead. These balls are all there for the taking. He's going to get that far. So when you add up what many's left, at least 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that'll take him to 133 or thereabouts. And he's knocking on the door of the finishing line.
Yep. Could be all over.
Right, where's Popman on this board? Look at Popman. Down there in 14 is his high run. Right. I won't be there on Sunday, Popman. You can give me the edited highlights.
Brutal, Hugh.
Well, let's look at the positive side. At least he can improve in his high run. That's a guaranteed option. 14 as a high run doesn't get the job done. You're down amongst the Spud boys there. I mean, you couldn't get any lower. Spud boys stuck there in 8. Brain fell out in 14. And you've just said that your eyes are better. So you've no excuse. Everybody's witnessed that. Well, it's down to the wire again. The nitty gritty. This 6 ball. Quick look at that. Well, it's going to have to do.
It's a little low, but if he doesn't leave himself too thin on it, he can draw it into the corner ball.
Is Steve still in this room? Let's have a quick look, see if he's still hiding there. Yes, he is. So he's obviously got himself in. Excuse me, no sooner have I said that than Bedhead's decided to wreck his break ball.
Well, it can still be a break ball, but he's going to have to play it off the rail. Leaves a pretty favorable angle. Now, is he going to manage to avoid staying stuck to the 10 ball here?
18 away from the finishing line. Well, he's brought the 9 out, and if he hadn't, he had nothing. I don't think.
Was pretty much stuck to the 10 ball.
Yeah.
But The 9 ball will save him, and that's all the balls he needs. It's one to shoot at. He's got other ones to play on. He's going to need a second break shot on this pack, and I think he's going to do it right now with the 15.
We'll have a quick look at the Friday night 9-ball bracket and see what's happening there. What have we got on the winner's side? We've got Stefan and Spectre Dawn playing the hot seat match. Spectre Dawn 2-1 up. Who's all on the one-loss side? Slim's over there playing Larry, and Slim's 1-0 up. Chimpy and Walto are still to play. If Walto's actually been playing in the tournament, I haven't noticed results.
OPS said he was good earlier.
And Bedhead edges ever closer.
All right, is the 4 frozen to the rail? The 7's off. The 4's, it's not frozen. Off enough.
Yeah, again, a couple of mils.
I'm a little surprised he didn't take the 7 while he was on it there. But the 8 passes the 7 comfortably, meaning that if he ends up on the... Oh, well, that changes it all. Kind of makes it all worse.
I think he's going to have to play the combo. It's dead set anyway.
He'll play the combo, but now the 1 is tied up. Yeah, he had lanes for all those balls if he didn't crash into them there, and then the first one he hit made it all very complicated.
Well, he's going to nudge. I mean, if you just roll straight through, he might run into the 1. And he's nudged the 10.
Does.
Now that 10's gone into play.
Wow.
That's perfect.
I don't know if he envisioned that, but if he did, then that was a beautiful shot.
I'm surprised he didn't type played it in the chat there. That's what I would have done. Well, he's obviously going to need that break ball, but it's sitting pretty. He's looking good to get the job done here.
Rolling through off the 2 will leave a nice little 1 rail angle.
He looks like he's taking the 1.
No,
Is he?
I wouldn't. If you just roll through underneath the 10 off the 2 and get a little low on the 1, then you can go 1 rail to the middle of the table. All right.
Well, it looks as if he's coming up the middle.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
I prefer the other shot, but it's an element of personal preference in there.
We just overhit this. Overhit it quite a bit. Well, he's only 4 away, but
he only needs 3.
Yeah,
the pack will be wide open if the 10 goes in.
You know, it's asking LS3 to put together her biggest run of the tournament to win this if she gets in, but it ain't gonna happen. Good break.
No, that's all she wrote. 12, 11, 7. Bob's your uncle.
Well, what I'm going to do here is, once this is finished, we'll just have a quick update on the the bracket. I'll let some of you guys see the end credits that you might not have seen. But Bedhead goes through 150 to 99, and let's see how that shapes up. Quick look. So Albinario to play Tommy Sunday night, 7 p.m, and Potman is lined up to play Acero Sunday. Is that what he said? I think he did. At 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, where's Bedhead here? I can't see him. Oh, there he is. He's through to play Moz, so that should be a good matchup. And then the winner of that match will play Woody. And meanwhile, we have the winner of the Albinario Tommy match is going to be playing Stubb. So that's how far we've got. I'm going to nip in to see Friday Night 9-Ball. Where are you going here, Pig? Are you heading out?
Yeah, I have to go.
Right, well, thanks for joining. Take
Appreciate
care.
the opportunity.
And we'll see you again soon.
All right, have a good one, you.
Right, see you later. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to, if I can remember what button it is, that one. Some of you might not have seen it. Right, we are in to Friday Night 9-Ball. This is a one-loss side match. No, sorry, it isn't. What am I talking about? It's winner's side. No, it is a one-loss side match. I'm getting confused. I saw the 7-ball there. I think there was 7 racks. One Pocket Slim is getting the 7-ball. Larry at the table though, and should be home and dry here. Well, Friday Night 9-Ball's been moving on at a fair pace. We're not even 9 o'clock, and they're playing the hot seat match. Well, Larry, he would have liked to have been further up the table in a shallower angle. Just means the cue ball's moving more, but probably across the table twice and out. That'll do it. So Larry battling on. Oh dear, commentator's curse. There's proof. Look at that. What a miss that was. How about that? And I'm just going to annoy Larry. I've gone into the room and jinxed him. Oh dear. Well, it's always good to have it in video. So final rack decider, and I cursed Larry there by saying he should have been out, and he should have been looking at that 9-ball. Right, I need to stop my little clock now that I remember, and I can press this button and do that, and it disappears. I'm getting the hang of this. I can't remember what you're talking about, Bedhead. I've forgotten half the match by now. I'm past my bedtime. Well, Slim's missed the 3, and Larry now who has probably just finished kicking himself in the shins 2 or 3 times, has got a chance to redeem himself, but he's going to have to play from, well, he's trying to hold to have a good line on this 4 ball, which he managed to do, at least have a shot, but he's missed the 3 because it was a bit tight. I don't remember what one you were talking about, Bedhead. But we just got the feeling that, I don't know whether LS3 is there, but we just thought she was just getting a wee bit nervous, a wee bit hesitant, because you gave her those chances. You made those, well, you had those scratches, and then you missed that ball into the side. I can't remember what ball it was, but LS3 can't say she didn't have the opportunities. Any other day she could have probably scored a lot more from those opportunities, but she ended up in at least 2 or 3 of them only getting 2 or 3 points, which is in the end why she ended up losing. Put up a good enough fight. Well, Slim might have to just check this cue ball. Yes, he's just checking it to straighten it, to stop it leaking away down towards the 7. Oh, and he's missed the 6 because of it. That's how you miss those pots, when you start having to do stuff with the cue ball. And Spectre Dawn has gone through against Stefan. 7 racks to 3. Let's bring up the bracket. Right, so that we know where we are. Well, it seems that... what the hell am I doing here? I've got the cue thing up. That's what's wrong. It seems that neither of these players want to win this, but Larry's got another go at it. And this angle on the 8 just needs a little jab. Or I don't know whether he can just roll through onto the 9, but a little jab to hold him this side. Well, he didn't want to do that. But he should be okay. So Larry trips and falls and barrels over the line against Slim. And now that means that Larry's now through to play the winner of Chimpy and Walto, who's getting the full booner 5 and out. And obviously he must be quite a new player. He's getting 5 and out and he's 3-0 down. Now we have Spectre Dawn through to yet another final, so all the business is happening on the one-loss side. This match might be over by the time we get in the room. In fact, I think it might be... oh no, we're still here. No, it's 3-1 now. And bang, there goes the combo in the 9, and it's suddenly 3-2. Or was it a combo in the 9? No, it wasn't. My eyes have gone. Forget it. It was a 1 ball. I thought it was a 9. I need a drink. But well done to Bedhead. He battles on. I think, let's have a quick look at this chap, see where he's from. Well, he's from the UK according to that. Quick look at his, can get the thing to work. How long has he been here? A couple of years. Well, he's 5 and out handicap, help him beat Slim. So he did make the most of that. Now, every time you go back to this bracket, you've always got to keep setting this clock thing, this refresh thing. Well, what does that checkbox do? Is that getting rid of that, or is that keeping the bracket the same? I think it is. Anyway, only Steve knows. So, Chimpy is going to be over the line. Oh, the auto refresh thing. Aye. So Chimpy goes through. So now we have the match between Larry and Chimpy to see who plays Stefan in the semi-final. But this for a full bracket, this tournament's moved on pretty swift tonight. Because these matches are not going to take that long in a race to 4. And I think there won't be much in this in terms of handicap. They'll be lucky if Chimpy gets the 8 ball. Or Larry gets the 8 ball, because I can't remember what the ratings are, but there won't be much in it, if anything. And there's still somebody, probably Steve. I bet he is Steve. There you go. He's still in the tournament room falling asleep. He's probably went back to work and forgotten all about it. Well, I think Chimpy's going to be getting the 8 ball looking at Larry's rating. Which is more than enough to be using.
Bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else. No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing.
Well, Chimpy's probably going for a bathroom break. Or he's tactically letting Larry sweat a little in the room. Oh, wrong button again. So it's Larry at the bottom of the screen. And Larry's lag looks reasonably good. Chimpy's might just hold the line. No, Larry's got it just by the odd millimetre or two. So here we go, race to 4, and as I thought, Chimpy's getting the 8 ball, but Larry's certainly got the 1 ball into the side. No shot in the 2, and fairly easy safety. Well, that was probably not a bad outcome, considering that Larry's going to have to play the combo with ball in hand. 2 ball stays in play, and now he has to get around the angles, avoid the 4 and 7. Well, he's hit the 4, he's still good though. And he's going to have to play the long 6 ball. He's gone too straight in this 4. He's going to have to punch it across. A big study needs here to get across with this 6. Oh, he's gone the other way. He's gone up table. which, well, that's fine because you can cut it in the side. I didn't think you could cut it in the side there. I thought the 8 ball was in the way, so that's actually worked out not bad. Oh, that's going to end up in no man's land. Right down the centre diamond. Make your choice and have a go. These are not easy. He's probably going to take it right side pocket because he has to come around onto the 8. He's played that well. That was a good shot. Had to get right into the cue ball there to get the dig and get the action on it to draw into that side rail, square up and come across. Played it well. So Larry gets first blood if he doesn't miss another sitter of an 9 ball, that is. Six ball and 4 ball go down. And the 1 ball on the side rail, so he'll be running for cover behind the 8 and 3 if he can, but he's run into the 8. I think that's the 8. Well, asking a lot for Chimpy to get anything out of this. Well, that's just one of the sort of weird bugs that can happen in VP4. What happened right at the beginning of the night stream is when I went to use my donut button, it wouldn't work. The donut would appear, but it would just keep disappearing. It wouldn't, when I kept holding the button, it wouldn't stay in the screen. It just kept disappearing. And the only fix in the end is to restart VP4. So that's some sort of bug that it doesn't happen. It's an infrequent bug, but it's definitely there. Oh, that's a good one. That's got Chimpy in trouble. Now, can he get the line to get to this 1 ball? That, whether he's going too shallow, whether he needs to go higher. Yeah, I think he needed to go nearer the middle pocket to get the angle to get to that 1, and the angle might not have been there anyway. But Larry has ball in hand. He's going to take the combo. Well, he's lining it up there, but he's got to leave something on this 2 ball to get out and up for the 3, and of course the 5 and the 7 are a major issue, and he could have done with a bit more angle. I think he's just going to have to punch this a bit more. And he's well away from the 7. That's a good one. Perfect. And he can just bring that cue ball back across to the 4 and just play that 5 into the side where we are. Or is that the 8? I'm thinking that's the 4. See, my eyes have gone at this time of night. I didn't even realise it was the 8. Wrong angle on the 7, but not a problem. Just run it to the rail and back out. And, well, this is where he does want to go 2 rails and have the weight correctly. And he hasn't got the weight, has he? Well, he's left it a wee bit short. It's not in Bedhead territory. It's not quite there for the Bedhead cut. But it's 2-0 to Larry. Chimpy not getting any use of that 8 ball because he's not at the table. Not really had a great opportunity at all. He's been locked up. And Larry's break certainly worked this time. And he's also, or has he? Has that 2 ball just come into play? No, he's okay. Well, from that break, what did he pot there? The 3 ball's gone, the 6 is gone, the 8 is gone, and he's on the 1. Pretty certain he can get it. He might just brush onto the 2. Just a little tiny clip, but again, perfect angle on the 2. He's got loads of room to find a path up to that 4 ball. Needs a little bounce. Is that enough? It's enough to be working with. Well, it's the thing I say frequently. It doesn't matter what your handicap is. If you can't get to the table and get a shot, you could have 5 and out. It's no good to you. Larry's running away with this at the moment. And he's on the hill already. Well, this time, well, something dropped. What went in? 2 things dropped. And it was the 2 and the 7, and he's no shot in the 1. At least I don't think he has. Nope. He's trying to sneak over the edge of the 3 though. And that's just going to hold. Oh, just the weight took it in. Well, he's got the pot. He's got nothing here unless he pulls something out from his bag of magic tricks. Is he going for the cut into this corner? Because obviously he doesn't go past the 4. What a shot. Oh, unlucky. That looked as if it was heading in off the jaw. Just caught the point. And Chimpy has his chance. But his chance is going to be scuppered by the 6 and the 9. Now, he's got to make the decision here. He's hampered over the 8 for this shot, but he could maybe dig into the 4 and try and stun it right up the table and try and get a line on the 4 ball for the 5-9 combo, sorry. Although it doesn't look as if he fancies it the way he's queuing up. He might have enough. It might be too much angle, to be honest. He's going to try it, I think. Try and drop it and stun up. Yeah, it's all about judging the pace. Well, there's always the option of the possible billiard onto the 9 off that 5. Because the other shot choice is nothing you'd want to be taking. There's still a chance that if he plays the billiard onto the 9, that he'll knock the 5 safe. Even if he misses the 9, he could knock the 5 up towards the 8 and he'd have a shot to nothing. Yeah, he tried it. Now, where's the 9 the 5 going? Well, it's ended up not too bad, although he might be in trouble in a second unless Larry lines up the combo himself. But it was worth the effort, but it might not be worth it now. Larry took the combo, got a nasty cut in the 5. Now, does he cut it back, let the cue ball run? Because if the cue ball runs, it could scratch past the 9 ball, but if it doesn't, he'll be nicely on the 6. He could cut it into the side, but he's going long way. Chimpy's money ball has gone, so he's going to have to dig out a shot if he's going to survive. Well, I'm getting the impression I'm all alone here because the chats went dead. I think everybody's gone home. Well, that was a difficult 5 ball anyway, so. Larry can get a little punch into the 5 here to bring the cue ball back out. He needs to come out far enough though to get the cut in the 6. He's having a little dig. Oh, he's gone for the. He's gone. I thought he'd have tried to just chip it into the side, but Chimpy lives again. Well, this is the point in no return. He's got to get out. No reason why he can't. Thin enough in the 5, he'll bring the cue ball down. Well, the worst place he could finish is behind the 9. He's okay though. Sounded dry to me. Well, Larry can send us 1 ball down the table and keep the cue ball up there. If he keeps the cue ball up the left side of the table, he's got a strong chance of getting cover in this 1 ball. He's going the other way though. Looking to finish in a line behind the 3 and 4. I think that one's just sneaked out a tad. Well, this is still a good opportunity for a safety as well. Cut the one to the side rail and then ending up in the top rail and bring the cue ball down. It's going to run into the 9 though, but you know, that looks reasonably safe to me. Well, no sooner have I spoken, but we've got the spam bot in. Nothing appeared all night, and eventually one appears. Well, potting that 1 ball wasn't the problem. That's the problem right there. No shot in the 2. He could try the cross double, cut it to the rail and bring it in to the pocket where the 7 ball is, but he's got the double kiss. That's ruined that. And his lifeline here's the fact that the 6 is a blocker. That's pretty well worked out. That's a good shot. Well, this time Larry hasn't ended up getting the good roll. And the only thing for Chimpy here, of course, is that the 8 and 9 ball are dead. They're not, well, they're not really set, but the 8 and 9 are right on top of one another. So you're going to struggle to make that as a combo. Now, is he going to take a risk here? Because he can cut the 4 and pot it and try and run the cue ball into the 2 of these balls and get lucky in the 5. And he's missed a hit. And, well, that's the worst thing that could have happened. If he'd missed the 5, he could have still had a go. And now he's done for as far as getting to that breakout on the 8 and 9. Now, can he keep it safe? Well, he's just rolling to it for the double kiss. Well, somebody's going to take the bank on at some point. If that 5 ball ends up bouncing off the rail far enough, you may well see that. Or somebody's got to take the chance and run away from this 5 ball and try and hide down here behind the 9 and 8. It's a risky shot. But the one thing about it is that even if you leave the 5 ball on, the incoming player is going to be half pushed to break out that 8 and 9 anyway. So it's worthwhile having a go at the 5 if you have a sniff of it. Now, if you went full-blooded for the 5 there, you could have probably run 2 or 3 rails around for the 6. But somebody's going to lose patience here and have a go. They'll need to, or we'll be here all bloody night. Now, of course, Chimpy is chasing Larry's tail in last chance saloon territory here, 3-1 down in the race to 4. And Larry decided he'd had enough. But like I said, unless Larry could have ran that cue ball around the table, he was never going to have any great shot in the 6. But he might be trying to thin it, and what a shot. Shot of the night. Gets the cut, gets the hit, brings out the 2 problem balls and lands in the 7. Oh, where's the cue ball? I think he's okay. So Larry took the big risk initially with the bank, but then took on an even bigger shot on the 6. Got it perfect, got the hit, the breakout, and now, well, although he's well away from the 9, it's just a fairly straightforward roll-in pocket pace. And so Larry marches on again, and he goes through by 4 racks to 1. And Chimpy will need to come back next week. And meanwhile, Larry now is going to be playing Stefan, where he's going to be giving Stefan maybe 7 and out or something like that, or the 7 ball, I would think. And Spectadon, meanwhile, has got another, well, depending how it goes, 15-20 minutes to wait and see who's going to meet him in the final. So the room is up. So Larry won the lag with the break, and this time the 5, the 7 and 8 have gone. He's on the 1. The 2 goes past the 4. The 3's wide open, and he should be out. And in fact, Stefan is getting the 5 ball, which is a good handicap. That is generous. So this is danger for Larry if he makes the mistake. Of course, in this rack, the 5 ball's already gone, so Stefan would have to run the rest of the balls. Well, Larry's away again. Good start, good break off, and good run out. And the 2 ball into the side. Landed nicely in the 1. 3 ball out in the open. They're all there again. And once again, Larry should be out. There isn't a problem in the table. And there's no reason there should be. Now, how's he finishing this 7? Now, does he want to just roll through for the 8 up the table? Well, he's played the stunt to hold it, and he's managed to hold it for the side. That works just as well. So, Larry's meaning business. Very, very solid start when it's only a race to 4, but it's 2 breaks and runs. And is Stefan ever going to get to see his 5 ball? The way it's going at the moment, I don't think so. Well, this time, the only failure is Larry hasn't got a ball in a break, but Stefan has got the opportunity to narrow the gap. The problem for him, though, is from the 3 to the 4, which is, let's be honest, it isn't going anywhere where it's sat. So, now, he's just got to have to play this gentle enough. If he can brush into the 4 and still hold for the 3 here, doesn't need to do big damage. And that's good enough. It's brought the 4 out. But he's now got to play a good one. He's at big distance here from the 3 ball. And if he goes forward, he's running into the 9. Well, he's trying to stun it across. Played it well. But when you don't get them right in that sweet spot and they go to the jaw, we know what happens. Well, Larry tried to be cheeky there. He tried to stun the cue ball. into the 9 and he's actually squirted out past it. So Stepan now has no excuse. He's got to get the job done here. He only has to get to that 5 ball. And I think I think he can just draw off this 5 and leave the higher cut net. Not the 5, off the 4. Yeah, that'll do. That's fine. No worries with that shot. It makes it very interesting if Stepan gets that opportunity, because the match can suddenly all turn around. Very, very solid start from Larry. Gets the dry break. Stepan eventually finding his way out and back in the game, just trailing by 1. But Stepan's break and turn it comes up dry. Well, now Larry's played a push out there. That's asking for trouble, because Stepan will stick him here, or at least he should. He should be right on that 5 ball, and he hasn't quite got there. Larry will fancy the jump and the cut in this one. Tell you that straight away. Now I'm just going to be a sec if anybody's still watching. I'm just going to come out of Discord. Back in a sec. Oh dear, what's Stepan done here? Well, he's got a long jump over this 8 ball just to get a hit in the 5. But if he gets it good, he'll be back on level terms. And then we've really got a game on. Played it well. And that's the advantage of getting a 5 ball money ball. Make the most of it. Well, here goes Stepan's money ball. Now, the big issue is getting good on the 6. Now, I don't know that, well, he's just left himself more work to do. He's going to have to go 2 rails over the left side and around and down for this 7. Well, he's trying to draw and hold it. That's got him there. But how good an angle is it to get on this 8 ball? Is he going to try and run into the 9? He looks as if he might be going forward and trying to run up into the 9. And if he gets it wrong, he could block himself out. But I think he's just got there. So just a little roll through. 9 into the opposite side. And Larry is 1 away. Cue ball. It stays up. I think everything else stayed up, did it? Yeah, it's dry. Stefan with no shot. And the one thing to be wary of here is look at where the 5 ball is. The 5 ball is there. This has started going again. I think it's got something to do with these shortcuts. Well, Larry's knocked a 5 in, which was the right thing to do, because that now takes away that danger of the money ball. Yeah, my donut's gone again. I think it's bugged with the shortcut keys that I'm using. I think that's what's causing it. Yeah, it's something to do with it, with the shortcut keys. I've actually fixed it there. Well, Stefan's going to have to get lucky here, not only getting a hit, but somehow keeping it safe. Now, if that 2 ball slows up, that is not a bad result. He'll take that. These are the shots that always test you and how well you get the thin hit on this 2 ball. And you see, you just caught it too thick, but the cue ball looks good though. Oh, he's nailed it. He's nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Well, Larry's not jumping that. That's one thing I can tell you he's not doing. And remember, Larry earlier on in the rack got rid of Stefan's 5 ball that was right over this bottom left hand corner pocket. And that might not have been a bad idea, because now that Larry's ended up in trouble, Stefan has ball in hand but has to run the table. And this could still work in Larry's favour. It puts pressure on Stefan to find his way out here. And he might have just scuppered it right straight away. That's bad. A huge gap to get into there between the 7 and 8, and he's blocked himself right out, and he can't jump it because the 7 ball's too far. So again, it's the hit and hope. Oh, he's got away with it again. Well, you never know what's going to happen in this tournament when you start getting a run of the ball like that. And this, well, it's ran into the 9, and I think Stefan can't refuse this. He's going to have a go at this combo. And in it goes. The cue balls are going to stay in the table. Is it going to stay in the table? Yes, it is. So all of a sudden, we're at Hill. Stefan breaking for the match. And I think the 7 ball has gone. And well, he's just looking to keep things in cover, but that's a weak one from Stefan. That's poor. Could have played that an awful lot better if he took his time and set himself. And Larry's going to try and inflict the ultimate punishment here. Get out for that 2 ball. But Larry's problems are immediate. It's not the problem of potting the 2, it's the problem of where does he go with the cue ball to have a shot in the 3. Now he might come down the short side inside here. I think he's enough room to do that. He could come around 2 rails the right side. He doesn't look as if he's coming the left side the way he's lined. Well, he's going inside left, so he's coming the left side and the short side here. past the 4 ball. It needs to just slow up here or run into the 9, one of the two, or go like that and go reasonably straight. So and I think that's going to be it for this week's Friday night 9 ball for Stefan. Larry's going to see this home. 6 ball goes past the 8. So we've got a final, folks. If anybody's still there, I don't think there is. I think I'm all alone but these 2 bots that suddenly appeared. But it's Larry is through to play Spectre Dawn in this week's Friday night 9 ball.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool.
Well, Larry's in the room for this week's final. And Spectre Dawn should be in. And he is. And we'll lag for the break. And Larry is at the top of the screen. Spectre Dawn at the bottom of the screen. And it's close. And I don't know what the hell happened there, but that was quick. Spectre Dawn won it. And it's a race to 9. And it's a scratch match. No handicaps. Yeah, I spent this afternoon making that. I mean, I didn't have to do anything other than just put in the pictures and the text. The software's free online. It does it for you, and then you just download it. I'm trying to think. It's FlixPress that I use. Doesn't cost you anything, although you can pay a subscription for it for more choices, but I've been using it for a few years, and you can make a nice little intro, and it doesn't cost you a penny. So we're still short of 10 minutes to 10, and that's pretty quick for Friday night 9 ball, considering there was a full house in it tonight. Well, Larry's gone out of shape here. Is he going for the reverse bank into the opposite corner? Nope, he's just running for cover. Well, the 4 ball's far enough up the table for Spectre Dawn to have a look at the cut. And he's got to hope he gets lucky here, because the line that he's got, he might run into this 9 ball. Well, he's hit the 5 and needed that little bit of luck. He might play the billiard. Well, it's a bit too thick for the billiard, so he tried to sneak behind the 9. Hasn't managed it, and Larry can't push through in the 5. to lock him up in the 6. Now, is he lining up the pot in the side? This is not easy. Oh, good shot. And he's around for the 8. That was excellent. Well, he's gone a wee bit further, but it was a good shot. Cue ball travelling nicely round. Well, Larry just grabbed the bull by the horns there. He was in no good shape on that 5 ball. Dug out the pot, got the cue ball around the table, and deserves the first rack for that shot. I think we're back to dry break city again. Don't think anything went. And Spectre Dawn come at the table with nothing very inviting. Dodgy cut again in the 1, and he's got to get into the cue ball to keep it in play. And this is another testy one, not only for the pot, but to actually still get this cue ball in a position where he can see the 3. That 5 ball's just in an annoying position, and the shot's not easy to start with. But he's given it a good bit of thought. I mean, there's plenty of room past the 8 ball, but you're playing it from here, so it's a blind pocket shot, and you're always thinking about the 3 ball as well. And where's the cue ball going? Well, all he wants is a sight in the 3 ball, but I don't think he can get enough of it. He can certainly play safe and cut it to the side rail and run the cue ball, but I doubt very much. He needs to avoid the double kiss, and he needs to avoid running into the 5 if he can help it. Well, he will settle for that because Larry is hooked behind the 8 pretty much, and Larry thought he could get past the 8. I don't know whether he get right down in a shot, but well, he'll be in severe trouble here in a second. He's going to be nailed to the 6. Inspector Dawn putting him into a possible 3 pile. I'll say that again, a possible 3 foul situation. But Larry might try just jumping this because he hasn't got it stuck to the 6. So that wasn't a great shot by Spectre Dawn, but he's going to benefit from it. Larry's missed the jump pot in the 3, and now all the balls are in play. Well, you would think he'd see this out no problem. So, Spectre Dawn's won his first rack. Oh dear, the old mouse fart excuse coming up. Well, Larry breaks him up, gets the 8 ball. Don't know whether he can squeeze past for this one. Yes, he can. Well, he thought he could. Now, Spectre Dawn. Well, he could use the rail and just kick it in. It's a big target to hit the 1. He's not going to have a great shot in the 2, though, I don't think. He'd much rather hit the short rail first, like that, and try and get the cue ball out. But again, he's going to cut the 2 and run into the 5. Whether he gets this thick enough to hold for a decent angle in the 3 is debatable. He's going to scratch. And that was the only thing that was causing the problem, is the way he was running off those. So Larry's now odds on to take the lead here from that unforced error by Spectre Dawn. Oh dear. Again, Bedhead by time. Well, Spectre Dawn was looking odds on himself there to take the lead in this match until he had the scratch in the right side pocket, and Larry's done the necessary. Finishes off the rack, 2-1 lead. Ball in the break, shot in the 1. Little push combo onto the 3 from the 2. And, well, that's gone all wrong. They'll settle for that, though. Of course, this issue down the bottom of the table is going to decide who wins this rack. 7 ball isn't going anywhere. 9 ball in the way. Oh, this is a real tester. Look at the way he's finishing this 6 ball. Right over the top of it. And he's got to try and pot the 5. Looks as if he's going to miss the 9 and 7. Yeah, in the end, I don't think he played the pot. He was so far away from it, but it was really, really difficult. But Larry's now got the same problem. He might take a risk here, try and bank the 5 and run into the 7 and 9. Or is he going for the cut? Yeah, he looks as if he's lining up the cut instead. Well, he's went the other way to try and chip the 7 out. I don't know that he's done himself any favours there. The 7 isn't a great deal better. If he could get somehow down this side, well, that won't happen. Spectre Dawn has got the best opportunity he's going to get with ball in hand. But that's 6 ball right in the pocket, so you've either got to hit it full on or do what he's doing there and use the side rail to try and spin it down, but he's not taking that option. I think what's he doing here? Is he playing the draw, trying to draw into the rail and run into them? Nope, he's content to leave the combo. He's trying to get as good as he can on it. It looks fine from there. It doesn't look so fine from here though. But was it ever in doubt? And we're back all square. Oh dear. Yeah, it's straight to bed after this, folks. Well, I think Spectre Don's having a wee issue or two with his mouse. He had that mouse part earlier on when he was trying to break the balls, and now he's way short on that one ball. I think he's got a little technical problem. He might need to get like a cotton bud and a wee bit of alcohol solution or something and try and just dab it across the lens of the mouse and then use the other half of the cotton bud just to wipe it off, because it might be just a bit of grease or something that's run across the laser that's causing a bit of a reading issue. But then again, I'm no expert. You knew where you stood with an old rollerball mouse. You had to just dig it out and clean the runners, get rid of all the gunk and gunge that was on them. So Larry's immediate response should be running out to regain the lead. Well, the 5 balls disappeared. Again, he's got no great shot in this one. And there's the immediate issue after that. It could be a 2-9 combo if he got this one and kept the cue ball on the table. And that's what it's going to be. So this could end up in a pretty quick rack. And it'll be a chance for Larry to get some daylight between him and Spectre Dawn. Oh, well. It did everything but go in. It had a look. And, well, what does Spectre Dawn do? I don't know whether he can brush through to the other side of the 3. Doesn't look like it. And he could have pushed the 3 onto the 7 and made the 9. So now, the way it looks at, he's got to take the 3, the 4, and the 6, and then just play the cut in the 7 and 9. So he's definitely going to be out here. Back all square. Oh yeah, the old rollerball mouse. I was forever doing that. And you had all sorts of gunk and gunge inside them. I always cleaned it with a nail file. I just scraped it all off with a nail file. So we're into rack number 7. And this has got going all the way written all over it, this match tonight. nobody seems to be getting that daylight between each other to rack up the pressure a wee bit. Now, what's Larry done here? Well, I think he's blocked himself off again. And look at the way these balls are sitting, because if Larry not only doesn't get the hit, he's trying to jump. He's going over the left side of the 9. Now he needs a bit of good fortune. He hasn't got it though. But these balls are wide open, so Spectre Dawn's got to try and find a way to avoid hitting the 6, and that's not easy. And also to get a sight on the 4 again. The 8 ball just is a hindrance where it's sitting. So this is not a definite gimme. This is really the clincher if he can get this 3, but I just don't know how he can avoid somehow colliding with this 6 ball. Well, he's hit the 6, but that was always going to be the problem as to where the cue ball was going to finish, and I think he's got... Well, he can certainly see the 4, but does he think he can hit this hard enough and thin enough to make the cut? He's given it a serious look. Well, in goes the 4. 4 stays on the table. He's on the 5. Well, I've said this about Spectre Dawn before. He will do everything to find a way to get there. And he's going to have to do the same to get on this 6. Yeah, things move on technology-wise. I mean, you never imagined back in those days you'd have such a thing as a wireless mouse. I mean, I hate them. I don't like them. I don't like the idea of having to hunt for a battery right in the middle of doing something. I still think the wired mice are just more reliable for that reason. But yeah, you went from a mouse. I mean, you think about it as well. You know, back in the day, all you had was a mouse with 2 buttons, a left and a right click, nothing else. You didn't even have a scroll wheel. That was in the very early days. And if you hang around long enough and you're old enough, you get to see the technology moving on through the decades. Well, Larry's gone all out for the 1 ball there. The immediate problem again is there's 1 ball tied up, and it's the 3 ball. Now, Spectre Dawn could get greedy here. He could try cutting the 1 and coming across. That's what he tried. He tried to just cut across and hit that 3 or the 6 and still get lucky he'd have a shot in the 2. Well, he's missed. He's hit on the 3, and he's got again another dodgy cut in the 2 ball. And well, I don't know what. I mean, I'm assuming he tried to play a safe there. I don't believe he played to pot the. Maybe he did to try and keep the 2 ball in play and use it as an angle to try and run into the 6 and 3 ball. It's hard to decipher what he tried. But either way, well, Larry's picked off 1 there. That was a good shot. Well, I think he liked it so much he's shown us a replay as well. Or did he get lucky? Is he going to admit it? I've got a antivirus scanner on the PC, and when it's running, it comes up with little bits of information about like the history of computers and stuff. And one of the things that pops up is the first mouse for a computer. I mean, this was really back in the very early days when they were trying to make home computers. Where's this cue ball going? Well, Larry, I think is okay, and they said that the very first mouse was made of wood. That they didn't even have they wouldn't have had a plastic mold for a mouse back in those days, so they just carved the mouse out of wood. It started as a block of wood, and they made it into a mouse. Well, here we go again. We're back all square into rack number 9. Larry with the break. And Larry's been breaking pretty good from what I've seen tonight. Okay, they've not all been getting a ball, but the spread has been really good. Something's worked for him tonight. Well, there's a nice little target up where that 3 and is it the 8 ball that's up there, or is it the 4? The 3 and 4. There's a nice little target there. Well, I don't know whether he tried to get there, but he's fell short, and in turn he's left Larry with a cut in the 1. So it's went wrong. Yeah, I think you're right. Aye. So Spectre Dawn, the little combo, and immediately should be back in the lead. Well, that wiped its feet. Well, I'm struggling to hang on here. The old brain's in shutdown mode, telling me to get to bed. So Spectre Dawn into rack number 10. Each by 1. Again, a good break by Spectre Dawn, but I don't think anything's went in. But look at the cue ball. It thought about it. But, Larry's got a thin cut into the side. I don't believe he would try and squeeze it past the 3 ball, but He'll be hoping he avoids the 8 ball. I think he can. And try and just get the cue ball back into the table and not hook yourself behind the 8. Well, it's just when he needs a little roll. And this is going to have to be his escape route. And he's got it. But again, has he got a shot? Yes, he has. And Larry's trying to dig them out. He's not going to give an inch. But again, there's trouble ahead. 6 ball is in an ugly spot. But again, if he gets below it, and he really, oh dear goodness me, he scratched into the side. He's trying to push that up the table. That 4 ball got the pot, but the cue ball just held the line straight into the side pocket. And I think this point here is now with ball in hand. Spectre Dawn can get behind the 6 because it does squeeze past the 7. I had a quick look. There's just enough room to squeeze it up the table or down the table as we look. But that now could be the one that gives that little bit of a cushion for Spectre Dawn. And it's going to be a 2-rack cushion. Well, Larry, I think it's time for some advice.
Now remember, when things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean.
Now's the time. Trailing by 2 in this race to 9. And Friday night 9 ball. All the balls are there for the taking. And they should be back within 1. Well, Larry wants similar breaks to what he's been doing so far and what I've seen tonight. And he wants a ball and a shot to get back on level terms if he can. Well, the 9 ball's gone in. It's going to get respotted. And, well, he's not got a great opportunity in this one. I mean, it obviously cuts, but there's not a lot to be gained from it considering where the 2 ball is. But he has spotted a safety there, and that cue ball is nailed to the 8, and that cuts down angles for Spectre Dawn. But I think he's got the line up by that middle diamond and the short rail or thereabouts, maybe just to the left of it. Now he's maybe looking close to see whether he can get past 8. It's so tight he can't. That's what it means by getting it tight to the 8 ball. Well, Spectre Dawn's found a hit in the 1. Now has he got a roll? No, he hasn't. But Larry's got the same issue. It's not potting the 1 that's the problem. It's trying to get this cue ball guided across. Now, if he could try and get in the short side by coming to the top rail and spin it over to the left, because it will cut, I think, into that corner pocket. But maybe that's too tall an order. Well, he's maybe trying to get the little nudge. And the weight of shot that he's played was never going to keep the cue ball there, so he went for the hit, didn't get the hit. Oh dear. Well, another big mistake by Larry. And they're happening at the wrong time. And having got himself back to within one, Spectre Dawn gets ball in hand to open that gap again. Yeah, that was a novelty. A novelty mouse. Now you've got headphones with bloody cat's ears on them. Now you seen them? I was looking at headphones the other day. They're not that need a set, but you've got bloody headphones with cat ears on them now, pink coloured as well. Goodness me, that's taking a biscuit doing stuff like that. Sitting there with a set of headphones on it with 2 ears popping out the top. I think it's, you know who it is that makes them? Razor. That was the set I was looking at yesterday. The same brand that I've got at the moment. I think it's the same version. I've got the Razor Kraken, but these I think are Razor Kraken, but they're I can't remember what they're called, but they are pink and they have got bloody stupid looking ears on them. Stubb would suit them. They're made for kiddies like him. Well, a couple of errors from Larry's cost him, and Larry's now chasing after Spectre Dawn. And of course, Larry doesn't have the break. It's winner breaks, the 5 balls going in, 2 balls hanging over the pocket. Can he chip that one in? I don't know whether he can get. No, I don't think he can. He's pushing that to the rail just to keep it safe. So again, we're going to have a bit of tip tapping until someone makes the move. Now, in Larry's previous matches, I can't remember what match it was, but was it Chimpy? I think it was. In fact, don't you remember whether he played him or not? I'm so tired, I can't remember who played who, but we had this sort of situation until Larry got bored and played the bank, and I think cleared up. And Larry's taking initiative again. Now, is this going to be a 1-8-2 combo? No. Again, he's playing the nailed up shot there, trying to get it as tight as he can to that 4, but not tight enough because Larry can squeeze the angle onto the rail. But he hasn't got the lucky run that he needed. And Spectre Dawn, well, he's going to have to just make sure he does something with the cue ball to see this too. He's coming back. But we're moments away from Spectre Dawn getting to the hill. Aye, that's fine. I mean, they're made for little girls. But you see grown women wearing them. And even men. Well, I think the angle he's got in the 3, he can drop behind the 4. Yep. I didn't bother to get round to look because I'm so tired I can't be bothered moving. But this is quick for a Friday night 9-ball, I can assure you. We're not that we've been watching it all night, we've been watching the other tournament match, but we're 3 hours and 24 minutes into this, and we're almost done, unless Larry gets his act together and decides it ain't all over. But he's going to have a lot of hard work to do. Now Spectre Dawn. Well, he's been given the opportunity from the errors Larry's made, and he's took them, and he's won away. Again, another good break, but again it's dry. And look at the state of the table up the top end on the left-hand side. 9 and 3 and 6 are doing nothing, even though Larry's got a shot in the one. Now, he's looking to get... Well, I think he's a bit too straight. He would have liked to have been a wee bit more inside this too. He's going to try and pot this and run. Now, he needs to probably avoid the 7. Yeah, he couldn't quite get enough into it. Had he been a wee bit further inside that ball, he'd have been able to run it firmer to get the breakout. And now he's having to be delicate here and hope he gets cover, but he's not played that very well, I'm afraid. And I think Larry's he's heading home. So it's getting to that time of night, folks. We've had the one lost side match earlier on between LS3 and Bedhead. Bedhead coming through in the end. LS3, let's not forget, she had plenty of opportunities late on to make inroads in the deficit, and she didn't get there. The nerves were showing, and Bedhead came through at the end. But Spectre Dawn's becoming a bit of a juggernaut in this tournament. He's bossing it most weeks. Although Larry won one, he certainly won one a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember who won last week. And I was watching it, I think. Haven't the Foggies 2 won what last week? Was it Chimpy that won it last week? It might have been. But anyway, Baron had an almighty accident. It's going to be Spectre Dawn that wins it again this week by 9 racks to 5. And so it is. Spectre Dawn's took his chances. Larry's made the mistakes. The poor safety there cost him. And so Spectre Dawn wins Friday night 9-ball. Well, folks, all that remains now is to say, well, thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care. But I am heading for bed. So I will bid you good night, and we will see you again soon, hopefully Sunday, when we'll get the big match between Albinario and Tommy. That kicks off at 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 11 a.m. Pacific. So till we meet again, I'll bid you good night, and I'm heading home. And here's your end credits if you haven't seen them before.